Part 4 of Telepathically Dispatched. The story so far: our cab driver picks up a strange man under unusual circumstances and drives him to a remote area in the woods. There, he finds out the man is a visitor from another planet and tours his spaceship, which is powered by cellulose. The alien named Bud Nupel says he has a job offer for the cab driver.
"You are wondering just what kind of job I could have for you," he said. "Let me explain. To navigate the vast distances of space without becoming lost requires tremendous amounts of mental energy. That seat with the helmet on it is the device necessary to transfer that energy into my ship's guidance system. My problem is this: by the time I reach the planet of my destination, my mental energy is so far drained that I am unable to operate any ground transportation to complete my business on that planet. Virtually every civilized planet in this galaxy has some form of for-hire transportation, like your taxicab. I am usually able to summon one to take care of my needs, but lately the quality of service has been going from bad to worse. Why, the last time I was on Triacus 3, a driver took me halfway around the planet before I got to where I wanted to go.
There are a lot of drivers like that on this planet, I commented.
Ah, yes, but not you. If I had you as my personal driver, I could eliminate this problem for myself," Bud replied.
"But I don't know anything about operating a vehicle on another planet," I protested.
"Don't worry about that," Bud said. "I have all the information you'll need on my ship's computer. Once we are at my destination, it is easy for my ship to manufacture the appropriate vehicle."
"But what about my life here on Earth?" I asked.
"Don't worry about that either," Bud reassured me. "We can be gone for weeks, but because my ship travels faster than the speed of light, I can return you here, and it will be only as if 12 hours have passed on Earth."
I was still having a hard time believing that Mr. Nupel was telling me the truth, but I decided to go along with it and humor him. "Well," I said, "I don't know. Will I get paid by the mile for all my deadheading back to Earth?"
"If you wish," Bud said cordially. "But there is no need to make a quick decision now. I have some important business to tend to. I'll be returning to your planet in one of your months. You can give me your answer then, but now I must prepare to leave."
"That sounds fair enough to me," I said. "I guess I'd better be going so you can tend to your important business." I turned and headed for the door. "Thanks for the silver," I said. "That's the biggest tip I've ever had."
"Think nothing of it, my dear boy," Bud said. "But before you leave, I'd like to ask you for a favor. I've been admiring the currency you Earthlings trade with. It must be nice to have such a valuable medium of exchange. On my planet, all of the money is put out by the government. Nothing but worthless silver and gold. There is no limit to how much they might issue. A valuable commodity like cellulose would bring stability to our money supply."
He had pulled out his $100 bill and was admiring it.
"Perhaps you would be willing to trade me all the money in your pocket for this $100 bill," he said.
I pulled out all the money I had made for the day, a 20, a 10, and 4 $1 bills. "That sounds good to me," I said. "All I've got is $34. He gave me the $100 bill and took my $34. Then he grinned and laughed heartily. "I love doing business with you Earthlings. Here, I have just traded 1 piece of cellulose for 6, and you believe you got the better deal. You people have a certain naivete I have not seen anywhere else in the galaxy. When I saw what you people do with those rolls of cellulose, I was astounded." "Well, I don't know what you use," I said, "but on this planet, there is no comparable substitute." I stepped out into the fading winter sunlight and turned to wave goodbye to my new friend. He stood in the doorway of his ship as the hatch closed slowly. "There is no comparable substitute in the universe, my friend," he shouted. "But there are few men in the rest of the galaxy who can afford to use it. Farewell, and remember to listen to your mind." The hatch closed, and the cylinder disappeared into thin air as suddenly as it had appeared. There was no sign of it, except the matted down grass and brush where the cylinder had been sitting. I got back in my cab and started the engine. The bar of silver was still there, and so was the $100 bill in my pocket. As I drove along the river towards the highway, I contemplated my fantastic experience. I figured no one would believe me, so I might as well not tell anyone about it. I really wasn't sure if I believed what had happened myself. When I reached the freeway on-ramp, I glanced down at my fuel gauge and realized I was nearly out of gas. Probably enough to get me back to town, I thought, but maybe I should play it safe. I decided to go down the road to the truck stop and fill my tank. As I pulled up to the gas pumps at the truck stop, a man came running out of the office up to my cab. "Are you available?" he asked breathlessly. "Just as soon as I fill up with gas," I replied. "I need to get to SeaTac Airport, ASAP," he said urgently. He pulled out a $100 bill from his shirt pocket and laid it on the seat next to me. "It's worth this much to me if we can get there in 45 minutes, he said. I picked up the bill and put it in my pocket. "I think I've got enough gas to make it there. Get in." I should listen to my mind more often, I thought to myself as I got on the freeway. I had a feeling it was going to be an unusual month.